Greetings, Lumen students. It is week 24 and this is your Monday video. We're continuing to talk about the power of words and the power of writing. We've been working with thesis sentences, using research to back up our thesis sentences. Today we're going to be talking about persuasion. You know, persuasion happens all the time in our world. Whether you watch a commercial, see a billboard, hear a talk, listen to a speaker, oftentimes they are trying to persuade you about something. The political campaigns that you experience, the debates, are all about persuasion. Persuasion is really, really important, and we can use our words to persuade others in good or bad ways. I want to tell you about an experience I had with persuasion. It has to do with being hungry and being thirsty. Maybe you're feeling that way right now. I don't know. But I read something that really caused me to think and change my mind. So, persuasion and persuasive essays have several things in common. And let's talk about what those are. Maybe if you can hold off from getting a drink long enough to stay with me, you will notice that all persuasion gives examples and includes often a very strong image. If they can back it up with facts and a lot of details, that makes it even more powerful. Okay? And like strong images of pictures, right? Where you can just you can almost see it, you can almost taste it, you can almost smell it even. Okay? Back up with facts, and then they apply their argument and their logic to you. Okay, that's the final step. Okay, give examples with really strong images, back it up with facts, and then apply this to you. Okay, you may have been feeling very hungry and thirsty, but I have this question for you. What about refugee children who are starving and hungry around the world? This is an experience that I had, students, at Christmas time. You know, at Christmas time, you're always involved in your own family. You're making goodies. You're buying gifts. It's just so awesome. And I wasn't really thinking about much except, you know, what I wanted and what sounded good to me and what my kids wanted and having fun. Well, I read a very persuasive and powerful essay about the plight of refugees and what was happening to them around the world. This is not something I had normally paid attention to. I didn't really watch the news, so I didn't really know what was going on. But as I read you this article, I want you to notice if this author does each of these things. Does she give examples? Does she use strong images so you can actually see it in your mind? And then does she back up that information with facts? And then does she apply it to me? What do I need to do? She's trying to persuade me to do something. And what is that? Hey, you may be enjoying my little persuasion there. But let's talk about this essay. I want to show you, I'm going to show you a few parts of this essay if I can. Let's see if I can get there. Okay, this is by a woman whose name is Glennon Doyle Melton, and she runs a blog called Momastery. Okay, I'm going to skip just a little bit. Okay, and I want to show you just some images that begin this essay. she's talking about these refugees from Syria. And she begins by showing us pictures of them and their faces. And as I was reading this 3 days before Christmas, I thought, this is important. I need to pay attention to this, okay? She talks about some individuals who are working to help refugees around the world, okay? They don't sleep anymore. No one on their team does, because they are so consumed with the work of saving babies and clothing children and feeding starving mamas and pulling toddlers out of the churning sea. And as their friend and admirer and sister, it is my only job to do justice to their story. Here's a quote. There are thousands of children here, and their feet are literally rotting. They can't keep dry. They have high fevers, and they're standing in the pouring rain for days on end. You have 1 month, guys, and then all these people will be dead. Here's another quote. The mamas are standing at the gates, asking the guards to let them and their children in, or to kill them and put them out of their misery, because that would be more bearable, because they're watching their babies slowly starve and freeze to death. Okay, I want to show you this video really quickly. So these refugees are fleeing war-torn countries in the Middle East where they don't feel safe. And they're trying to come into Europe, but Europe is concerned about taking them in and having room and space for them. And so some of them are left on boats floating in the ocean, some in refugee camps. They are Europe and Germany, particularly in Greece, where they are finding access to through the Mediterranean Sea, is overwhelmed with all of the refugees that are coming. So let me show you this video. See if we can make it a little bit bigger. In this scene, she was talking about a project called the Floodlights Project, which is designed to help those coming in from the water in the dark of the night, and they need floodlights to be able to see them. She says, Europe is facing the biggest refugee crisis since World War II. People are drowning in tiny rubber rafts, freezing on cold beaches. They are walking for miles, for days, carrying their babies on their backs and in their arms, only to be met by fences, border guards, and seizures. Fleeing from a terrible war to seek a peaceful future for their children has left them in danger and without a country. Okay. So she challenges us to donate some money to this cause. She says $3 will buy a pair of gloves, $4 will purchase a warm blanket, $2 buys a warm hat, $5 for socks, $29 for a sleeping bag, and $33 for a warm coat. A baby sling for a family costs $25. The Floodlights and Heaters Project costs $328 a day. It is designed to light up cold waters at night, to provide for lamps so that the rescuers can find people in the water when they cry out, and warm tents with heaters in them so that the refugees warm up and get dry after they arrive. Building a shelter for a vulnerable family in Calais costs around $300, and feeding all the refugees on the Greek island of Samos a meal a day for a month costs $50,000. Okay, if you're reading this, you have been called. This is your call. Please respond to your call. I'm asking you to give. Please give light and food and warmth to these precious family of members of ours. Okay, we have some specific we've got a specific persuasive essay that we're looking at, and the goal was to convince people to donate to help refugees. Does she give examples? Okay. Yes, she does, doesn't she? Okay, of what the people need, what they're doing, where they're going. Does she show strong images? These ones were visual and with a video, but you could do that with words as well. Strong images. Does she have some facts, some research, some quotes? Yes, she does. Okay. And then apply it to the person you're trying to persuade. Does she do that? Yeah, she said, give. You've been asked to give. And I was persuaded, students. I contributed some money right before Christmas when it's not always hard to find money. You're busy buying and shopping. I contributed some money to the refugee crisis, and I was so grateful to do so. It helped me feel like I was really celebrating the true spirit of Christmas. Okay, that is persuasive, right? And let me tell you the results. Let me scroll down just a little bit from the end of this essay. When the world is dark, we must be the light. On the darkest days of the year, light won. Thank you. We raised $1 million in 31 hours with 40,000 givers. Okay. So 40,000 people were moved by this essay and by others to contribute to the extent that they raised $1 million. That's the power of persuasion. Before we talk a little bit more about persuasion and your action item for this week, I want to show you just some of what that money has done. Okay. Let's take a look at some pictures now of some of the things that the money has contributed. Okay, here is some boxes, some strollers for the family so they don't have to carry their babies anymore. Here's all kinds of boxes. Here's a mother and child. Oh, we saw some of these already. Here's some food. Here's a shelter that's been built. Here's some coats getting ready to be sent. Here's some children trying on their new coats. Okay. Here's a baby with its warm hat and coats. Okay. Here's some more children with some warm clothing. Okay, that they got from the donations that people made. Here's a package that came for that little boy. Some more packages ready to go out with warm clothing. Okay, for everybody. Let's see if there's any more pictures. Here's a mother holding her baby. Some children. Here's a food kitchen. Okay, telling people to come in and eat. And they're starting to build some homes and some shelters for some of the refugees. Okay. All right. Boxes of stuff. Families reading the cards. Okay. So pretty impressive. That's something that I feel strongly about. Maybe you feel strongly about a cause that is important to you and you want to persuade people and you want to follow this model in doing that. Give examples, create some strong images in their minds, back it up with facts and research and data, and then apply it to the person that you're trying to persuade. There are several different persuasive essay organizers that you can look at on in the content today. Each of them is associated with a different action item. So if you'd like to choose your own topic to write a persuasive essay about, that would be wonderful. And I would like you to choose either action item 24.1 and use that organizer. It's called the Oreo organizer. You can choose action item 24.2, take a look at it and see what action item you might want to do, what graphic organizer might help you organize your thoughts there. Or you can choose 24.3, which is another kind of fun organizer with different boxes where you can fill in information and really help you to put your graphic organizer or your essay together. You want to just print those out and then fill them in with the topic that you want to persuade someone about, whether it's refugees or saving the earth or being kind to animals, protecting the environment, helping endangered species, not littering, not bullying. Think of different causes that you care about, and you could write a persuasive essay using one of those organizers. If you would like the easy action item this week, this is the option I want to give you, and this is less free choice, but again, it's easy for you to upload to, or just fill out the Google form, of course, and it'll be ready for me to look over. Okay, your choice is, you just have choice of two things, and one is video games are good. Okay, and maybe you think that video games are valuable. Okay, and so you would like to write a short essay, a paragraph about why video games are good. And you're trying to persuade your teachers, your parents, other maybe government leaders who are trying to ban video games, that video games are good. You want to give examples, of course, okay? Examples of good games. And why are they good? Do they bring the family together? Do you play and interact more? Give specific research, maybe, or some facts. Maybe you have heard, and you can check this out online, that the military uses video games to teach people skills of using weapons and flying planes, that the video game controllers help you to develop skills, and even doctors who have good fine motor skills from playing video games are better surgeons. So you might want to back it up with those kinds of facts. Create a very vivid picture. Help us to picture games and what families are doing and how you're playing them. And then, apply that to the person. Would you like to have be all left out and not have any knowledge and not be able to talk to your friends about games or play with them, interact with them? It really binds friends together or something like that. Okay. If, on the other hand, you don't agree and you think video games are bad, I would like you to write an essay that argues that point persuasively. Okay, you can decide how long it is. I assume it's probably going to be about 5 or 6, 7 sentences at least, maybe a little bit longer, where you're arguing, no, you should be outside, people are becoming overweight, it destroys brain cells, they're too violent, okay? You can think of arguments on both sides, and so a persuasive essay will give lots of examples, really create a vivid picture in people's minds, and use some data, back it up with some facts and research if you can, and then kind of apply it to the person, So that is your challenge for this week. If you want to do one of the other action items, you can choose a topic. If you would like to argue either video games are good or video games are bad, you can use our Google form for this week and try your hand at writing a really, really persuasive essay. I'm excited to see what you come up with, and I know you're going to be very persuasive. You're very persuasive at convincing your parents you need the latest video game, or that you need time to play the latest video game. Or maybe you're very persuasive in convincing your parents that you need the latest sporting equipment because you're not playing video games or whatever it is. So apply your persuasive skills that you use on your parents to this essay. And we're going to see the power of words to affect people and to make change. So thank you so much for joining us, and we will catch you in your Tuesday video.